Today we'll be allocated to a certain part of the river. I think we're going to be heading down to the lower reaches. There's a couple of incidents down there that we need to check up on. But as part of the rest of the day, we get in contact with other departments to see if there's any issues. We check compliance issues with other vessels. And we'll also keep an eye on some riverbank projects, because that's obviously what I do in my substantive position. It's still good, it's an opportunity for me to catch a riverside perspective of those shoreline projects. My name's Marcus Nordstrom. I work at the Swan River Trust as a project officer, and I've been at the Trust for over 4 years. I originally started out as a river park operations officer. I did that for 3 years. As a river park officer, I was located at Elm Street in Victoria Park. So that was the location of the tree damage, was it? Yep. Okay, all right. And just so you know, there's a significant limb that's fallen down onto the jetty at Tranby Reserve. I don't know if there's any chance that you guys can pick that up next time you're out on a patrol?
Yeah, I should be able to talk to the waterways boys and get that done this week.
Excellent. All right, thanks for that. Great. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Marcus.
Just to let you know, I'm heading to Success Hill later on today. The bulk of my work at the Trust as a project officer is to work alongside foreshore land managers. They include local governments and state agencies. And working alongside them, we were able to implement foreshore stabilisation around the river, basically mitigating any threats to environmental values, social, cultural, safety issues. That's the bulk of our work. We do that through implementing projects around the river, some of them funded by the Trust, and other ones we provide advice for local governments implementing their own projects. A typical project for us would come through to us from a particular local government authority. From there, I'll do a lot of research into particular designs or stabilisation techniques that they plan to use. Originally, this shoreline here was it had completely failed. There was an embankment. It posed a bit of a safety risk. The consultants drew up a design that included regrading or reprofiling of the shoreline. Then we installed erosion control matting, brush mattressing in the intermediate zone, and then a rock toe protection, and that protects this shoreline from any wind waves, any boat wake, and also high tides. It's obviously been revegetated, which has taken off really well, and yeah, so this has been a good outcome for the City of Belmont and for the Swan River Trust, obviously for the river as well. If you take a look over this side here, this is a section that hasn't been completed yet. This is an area where there's obviously a failed shoreline. The original log pile walling is completely failed, and has got no resistance to that energy, that boat wake. The qualifications I needed to get into the Swan River Trust as a river park officer, I had a degree in environmental science from Murdoch University, but I also had 3 years of experience at Botanic Gardens and Parks Authority as a bushland restoration officer. A critical part of stabilisation is revegetation. It's a bioengineering component. So for an area like this where you've got significant embankments, you use the vegetation and the roots to basically bind the soil and hold it together. As a project officer with the Swan River Trust, I have to do regular inspections of sites during the construction phase. When I'm here, obviously, I'll be checking for adherence to planning and designs, but at the same time, one of my key roles is to inspect the property and to make sure that there are no detrimental environmental effects taking place. For example, ensuring that there's no plumes entering into the river as part of the construction, and also making sure there's no unexpected vegetation damage. The design component, if it gets quite technical, we often seek advice from consultants, coastal engineering consultants, but we do fall back on our best management practice, which has been designed by engineers, and that's our Bible, so to speak. See, that's the limb coming from there, yeah.
These are all little holes, and they're all the way around. I don't know how structural it is now, how deep those borer holes go.
Yeah.
It's just on that outer couple of centimetres and it's probably fine. But if they go right to the core, it's not going to take much to, send it over.
They've been having a few bonfires down here still?
One of the highlights of this job is seeing the outcomes to these projects. You start off with a bit of foreshore that's in poor condition, and the outcome may end up being a stabilised foreshore, which is ultimately what we want. But as well as that, we may get increased access for public. We may get services, for example, kayak launching ramps, fishing platforms like we've got here at Success Hill. But yeah, even aesthetically, you have a look at some of these sites and they look beautiful once they're done, and hopefully for years to come.